massive congratulations to Luke Littler. I'm actually wearing a shirt now because I know darts players wear shirts. So it's a homage to him. He could be just a year 11 GCSE student. And again, watching the darts for the last couple of weeks, we've seen that the darts players are there on the oche, doing calculations, doubles, trebles, working out what they need for checkouts. And again, even at one stage, Luke was there needing 132, and immediately his mind is whirring. He's like, I need a bull, another bull, and then a double 16. And it's incredible, one, to see the audacity of the calculation and then see the execution of it. And I think young people definitely look up to him as a role model. One, because he's their age, he's their peer group. He's someone that's on social media, huge followings on Instagram, TikToks. I know young people will use those platforms as well. And I think any way that we can get young people to see the value of numeracy and maths in everyday life, I think that's brilliant. And Luke Littler and his darts brought darts to a whole new platform. And now we need, as educators, to use it as a platform to raise awareness of numeracy and the practical part of it. And one of the things you mentioned was actually the hard work and dedication it takes. Luke Littler, he started out 18 months. He wasn't born a darts genius, but through hours and hours of effort, he became this fine-tuned thinking, calculating machine and executing machine. I think that's a role model for dedication for all young people out there.
Yeah, and of course, Bobby, there's one figure that kids will understand, and that's 200,000 quid, how much he trousered age 16, a mind-blowing sum of money. So that the notion of putting in the hard work, again, this reward, cause and effect through hard work, a great thing to teach kids, Bobby.
Definitely. And there's one thing that I read about, a rule known as the 10,000 hour rule. And a author called Malcolm Gladwell said, actually, if you put 10,000 hours into any field, whether it's football or darts or mathematics, you can reach a sort of world-class level of expertise and in the end, get the financial rewards. But one of the things I particularly liked about Luke Littler, and which is why I think the nation was enamored, was his joy when he got things correct, when he got the checkout. You would see the sort of face light up. And actually, I was reading an article in the Times newspaper by an author called Matthew Syed, who is a former Commonwealth table tennis champion. And he actually talked about the joy that other athletes have had. He talked about Tiger Woods in '97 when he won the Masters. Yeah. He talked about Wayne Rooney when, at the age of 16, he scored the audacious goal against Arsenal for Everton. So sometimes this optimism of youth and joy, actually all of us, even as older adults, that joy in life, if we can capture that, we can sort of achieve anything we want.
Yeah, now, Bobby, operationally, of course, we have to address something been pointed out to me in an email via one of our viewers called Dale. Could you imagine if one of the students lost a match and flipped out, the darts would become weapons in the hands of those unruly kids? So, of course, Bobby, there's a health and safety issue. In fact, I talked to my son this morning, Sonny, about this, and he said, Dad, if anything went wrong, they'd start throwing the darts around. But, of course, you could do it electronically or you could do it with magnetic boards.
Yes, exactly. And again, I would say as a maths teacher, we use sometimes compasses to draw circles. If a lesson goes wrong, a compass is technically an offensive weapon. So could a ruler, so could a heavy textbook. So I think it's about just setting up the protocols in a class so that it's a safe environment. But again, I think on the whole, schools should be looking into using darts as a way to promote numeracy. Absolutely brilliant. Again, capitalize on the energy that Luke Littler has brought to all our lives.
Yeah, and if we unearth a few world champions down the line, then what an astonishing achievement would be. But don't you think, Bobby, one of the great things kids love, if you give them a pile of change and you say, right, count that, work it all out, when you give them something tactile, something analogue, they're completely involved. Bobby, thank you so much for being so enthusiastic, as ever. Loving the dark shirt, keep it up. Prefer it to the West Ham shirt behind you, that's just me. Thank you very much for joining us. OK, now...